Hello, this is Marvelous presenting on fashion designing. So we all can testify that we do wear fashion on our daily basis. Now, my question to my audience today is: what if clothes you wore tells about a story of heritage, a story of strength, and a story of culture? And now today we are going to be looking into the three main points of fashion, and which I will be representing Maki O. Yeah, as we know today, the fashion we are wearing today started with someone and by someone who started the foundation. Though roughly, who couldn't believe that today it would become a big fame, a big company, and a big brand name known both nationally and internationally. A CEO and the owner and the founder of Maki O, which is known as Amaka Osakwe, discovered this in 2018 when she started as a ready-to-wear, going to the wardrobe of her parents, exchanging clothes of her father and her mother, showcasing her potentials and talent. There she discovered that she has more to deliver. Okay, so what is Maki O as a brand stand for and to cover, which gender, and that which we are going to look into in the next slide. Key point one is what cultural preservation through fashion. This young lady, Amaka Osakwe, the CEO and the founder of Maki O, came to discover, as just like I mentioned earlier on in 2018, okay, by dialing some fabrics and texture with hand, mixing them with different colors, okay, which she started because she grew up in Lagos. So she started with a Yoruba tradition, okay, because there's a tribe we known as Yoruba. So she started with their tradition, their culture, and began to dye those textures, those fabrics, put them together with different colors and painting them with different styles, different designs, and bringing out different strategies for there. Okay, now she has been able to preserve that culture through what? Fashion. What is the culture? The culture of Yoruba. Okay, in the next slide, I'm going to explain in key two, okay, the empowerment, okay, which she has brought for women in the fashion production. Key point two, empowerment of women in fashion production. She has been able, which is Amaka Osakwe, to use these processes, this idea, and this God-given vision to empower women, more especially the young ladies in society and also our mid women, in order to make them look astonishing, beautiful, and pretty in their modest dressing. Okay, now we discover that, in fact, internationally, so many celebrities has been able to attest and wear this fashion produced by Amaka Osakwe, and of which we know somebody internationally, someone like Michelle Obama, the first lady of the former president of the United States of America, and other celebrities, okay, in Africa and outside Africa. Okay, so we are going to move next to the slide to know the global impact and recognition. When we talk about the impartation and worldwide recognition, which is the global recognition, we've come to understand that so many celebrities, even Rihanna herself, have been able to also come across and recognize this branding as one of the biggest brands and the highest patronized brand in Africa and in Asia and in other continents, okay, which it has brought out the name of Africa globally. Now, rehearsing to this and looking into this matter, we have sources from LVMH Price, a site, okay, which tells more stories about this because it's a good source, an authentic source. Now, that is the key. Now, we move over to key facts, key point one, of which I mentioned earlier on. Now, the sources is where you can get the source is in Vogue.com. Vogue.com was able to analyze, okay, the cultural preservation through fashion, the cultural preservation of which the brand has brought into the society and our culture today as Africans. And the second key point, the source, which I know is Business of Fashion. Business of Fashion has it that so many people has been able, like I say, mention celebrities has been, and a lot has been able to patronize this brand. and they can be able to testify that indeed the brands are worthwhile to be purchased and to be wear. So which means fashion in Africa is a big name. Therefore, we need to support brands like Makio now, so African craftsmanship will be valued globally. And this message is for Africans most especially. Okay, when you wear Makio, you are not just wearing a dress, but you are wearing a legacy. Thank you once again, and peace out, one love.